Thank you for joining us. The 24th Annual Ken Gass Community Building Awards will begin shortly. Please take this time to prepare for an inspiring event. Now is a great time to set up your technology, gather snacks and beverages, and take care of your comfort needs. The official program will begin at 6:35 p.m.
No matter what past has brought us here, it's the same future now. We gotta put our heads and hands together if we're gonna find our way out. And each of us a special path, we carry so many views. But if we weave our dream together, there's no way that we can lose. 'Cause we are brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, our memories returning. Sisters of the earth, brothers of the earth, we are learning that as brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, we claim the power. Sisters of the heart, brothers of the heart, we need one another. I listen to your stories, and for a moment I see through your eyes. You tell of your tribe's extinction, and I hear your ancestors' cries. And I smile at your gentle wisdom, and I cry for my people's shame. But you reach to me through the darkness, and I reach out the same. 'Cause we are brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, our memories returning. Sisters of the earth, brothers of the earth, we are learning that as brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, we claim the power. Sisters of the heart, brothers of the heart, we need one another. So much from me came easily. I was middle class, male and white, a dark-skinned woman on the reservation. You've had to fight all your life. Well, I'm proud of you and proud of me, and tonight what we both dare, blending our voices together, the strength of a vision shared. 'Cause we are brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, our memories returning. Sisters of the earth, brothers of the earth, we are learning that as brothers of the heart, sisters of the heart, we claim the power. Sisters of the heart, brothers of the heart, we need one another.
Welcome. Noelam. Bienvenido. We greet you warmly to the 24th Annual Ken Gass Community Building Awards Ceremony. I am Christy Sletty. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Executive Director of Whatcom Family and Community Network, WFCN, the host organization of this annual event, which would not be possible without our sponsors. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we celebrate individuals and groups who make Whatcom County a thriving community, built on equity, social connection, participation, and opportunity for children, youth, and families. This event celebrates the spirit of connection, trust, and well-being we each deserve and aspire to wrap around our abundant community. Now, every summer, we call for nominations of people who are strengthening our community for children, youth, and families. We thank all of you who took time to nominate tonight's honorees. The youth, adults, groups, businesses, and organizations honored receive this once-in-a-lifetime award. We recognize that for many, their efforts have been ongoing for years or decades without accolade. After tonight, the work honored is sustained across lifetimes or leaves legacies upon which others will further build. Now, we miss having this event in person, where we share a meal, meet new people, laugh, and sing together. However, we recognize the silver lining of this virtual platform allows everyone to be invited. This video will continue to be available online, so you and others can watch it in the future. I would like to welcome my co-host and Whatcom Family and Community Network's President of the Board, Mason Gray.
My name is Mason Gray. I use he and him pronouns. WFCN is a local 501c3 nonprofit organization, founded 32 years ago by Dr. Ken Gass, a local pediatrician now retired. Dr. Gass met many children and families in his pediatric practice whose needs went beyond what could be addressed in his office. He gathered people across sectors to imagine a better future, where kids and families could seamlessly connect to supports that would elevate their well-being. We gather here in honor of that vision and the many people contributing to that ongoing work across our community. Today, Dr. Gass and his wife, Francie, continue serving to make Whatcom County a healthier place for children and families. Thank you both for your model of community building and compassion. I would like to acknowledge Whatcom Family and Community Network's Board of Directors. I wish to thank these individuals who provide governance to carry on the mission of the organization. Our board currently seeks directors to serve 3-year terms. If by the end of tonight you'd like to know us better, contact us at info@wfcn.org. I would specifically like to acknowledge Dr. Angela Harwood, who completes her service as a director by reaching the 3-term limit, or 9 years. We wish her well as she continues supporting youth as a tennis coach and program coordinator of the We Grow Garden, a local youth leadership development program. Thank you, Angie, for your dedication and service. I commend the staff and volunteers of WFCN who dedicate skill, talent, love, and energy into breathing life into our mission. Our mission is to promote the well-being of children, youth, and families by convening and supporting communities to build their capacity. Back to you, Christy.
We are nearly ready to begin honoring our community builders. But first, we wish to acknowledge that in Whatcom County, we are residing on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Lummi people and Nooksack tribe. The Lummi and Nooksack peoples are the original inhabitants of Washington's northernmost coast and southern British Columbia. They lived in villages throughout this territory and continue to have an ongoing relationship with these areas. Since time immemorial, they have celebrated life on their land, waterways, and on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of their people to perpetuate their way of life. Please join us in taking a moment of silence as we honor their ancestors and as we acknowledge the past, present, and future Lummi and Nooksack peoples as the original inhabitants of this land. Haishka. Prior to beginning each set of awards, we will list the names in order of presentation, and you will hear the following sound. That sound is intended to call your attention, specifically if you are here to support and celebrate specific individuals. For Set 1, awards will be presented in the following order. Honorees are Bellingham Childcare Learning Center, Leanne Riddle, Meghan Lever, Northwest Indian College Center for Health Native Connections Program, and Sarah Lane. And now, I turn it over to our Board of Directors and staff to present the awards.
Hello, I am Shane Steger, he, him pronouns. I am the past president of WFCN's Board of Directors. And all that WFCN focuses on, prevention is at its heart. We know that caring for the youngest members of our community is of the utmost importance, and you'll see that exemplified in our first recipient tonight, Bellingham Childcare and Learning Center. Neuroscience and adverse childhood experiences research shows us the importance of the first 5 years of a child's life in regards to the development of their overall well-being. For many families, a critical piece of the puzzle in supporting their young ones is childcare. Access to affordable and quality childcare can be a significant barrier. Bellingham Childcare and Learning Center is a NIAC accredited facility that fosters educational growth through loving and nurturing interactions with children. Teachers strive to deeply connect with parents or guardians as they are the child's first teacher. They provide a tuition assistance program for families that do not qualify for childcare subsidy through other entities. Throughout the pandemic, they have been able to keep small classrooms open with a safe environment, as well as remain staffed with both new and seasoned teachers. In addition to small classroom ratios and their communication style, what makes the center distinct is their flexible and accessible parent education and family engagement program. It provides several ways for parents to connect, support each other, and learn together. It offers opportunities for parents to build supportive relationships with one another, and it develops skills to better advocate for themselves and their children. We're proud to honor Bellingham Childcare and Learning Center.
Hi, my name is Viri Ferreira. I use she, her pronouns, and I am director of the board. I have the honor of introducing Leanne Riddle. Leanne is receiving a Community Building Award to recognize her efforts to improve education locally and statewide. She has served on the Ferndale School Board for 16 years and on the board of the Washington State School Directors Association for 6 years. Leanne quickly acknowledged that the accomplishments of the Ferndale School Board requires many hands, hearts, and minds. She is grateful for so many others walking with her in the work. This award recognizes Leanne as a driving force in many of the district's accomplishments, including free full-time kindergarten for all students, district-provided school supplies for all K-5 students, and implementation of a broad-based equity team. For several years, she purchased surplus books from the school system to make them available to children and families. The person who nominated Leanne for a Community Building Award shared that, quote, serving on a school board is a mostly thankless job. Nights away from family, reams of reports to read and study, angry emails, and phone calls from constituents, all for non-monetary compensation. But serving on a school board is also critically important. That's why we need to celebrate those like Leanne who do serve, who believe a commitment to children and youth of the community, along with a sincere desire to be a voice for fellow citizens, outweighs the sacrifices. Thank you for your service, Leanne.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Molds. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the Prevention Program Manager at Whatcom Family and Community Network. I co-coordinate the Whatcom Prevention Coalition. In coalition work, we value the expertise of prevention and intervention professionals who work inside schools to help youth navigate concerns about substance use and mental well-being. Our next honoree served in this area, Meghan Lever. Meghan served as a prevention interventionist specialist at Seaholm High School for 4 years. She provided support to teens impacted by substance use and advised a prevention club that elevated student voices and vulnerability around well-being issues faced by teens. With her guidance, a club model called Peer-Centered Support, PCS, and Peer-Centered Outreach, PCO, developed, which in 2021 has been adopted across all Bellingham high schools. The club allows students to be as profound and creative as possible and influence community in school by opening up dialogue and demonstrating healthy vulnerability on tough issues like sexual consent, body image, substance use, and suicidal thinking. Megan's role helped students bring their ideas to fruition and navigate systems. With her guidance, students hosted an event where parents could talk to teens thoughtfully on serious issues. Students reviewed school district health curriculum and created video content to strengthen areas that did not address real concerns of their peers. They convinced administration to change a day's schedule to ensure all students could attend assemblies on the issue of consent, and leveraged the PTA to fund a national speaker for the day. All teaching staff and student leaders were prepared to offer debrief discussions at this event. Community builders are trusted adults who have a way of making our communities safer for youth. Thank you, Megan.
I'm Ray Palmer, one of the newest members of the Board of Directors. I use he, him pronouns. I have the honor of sharing the community building work of Northwest Indian College Center for Health Native Connections Program. The Northwest Indian College Center for Health Native Connections Program conducted research to identify 24 Coast Salish protective factors that span across 4 themes: family, individual, spirituality, and community. They use those protective factors as the keystone for their strength-based prevention programs to provide health and wellness options to the members of the local community, specifically youth. These programs include suicide prevention, drug and substance abuse prevention, and events such as the annual Walking with Our Ancestors program. Over the years, Walking with Our Ancestors has grown through partnerships with the Lummi Culture Department and Summer Youth Program to include 60 community youth visiting Orcas Island. At this youth gathering event, local Native facilitators communicate through storytelling and teaching Schelangen, meaning our way of life. Additionally, youth and program partners engaged in a cultural history program about clam digging and the history of the water and its provisions as a protective factor. Through grants, the Center for Health supports many Native programs focused on Lummi Nation and provides some support to Swinomish and Upper Skagit Nations. We are honored to recognize the Northwest Indian College Center for Health Native Connections program for their strength-based and care-focused efforts. Over to you, Mason.
Thank you. I would like to introduce you to an artist and connector, Sarah Lane. Sarah may be known for her professional experience with Health Ministries Network or the Family Promise Program. However, this award honors her for spearheading the Art of Aging project, a collection of portrait paintings done by Sarah herself and audio tape storytelling through interviews of Whatcom County elders. The Art of Aging project is connected to the Aging Well Whatcom initiative, which aims to make Whatcom County a place with the culture, physical infrastructure, social supports, and services for all of us to age well. Each portrait and story helps viewers and listeners see the finer lines and unique features that are often missing from our broader social understandings of aging. Sarah's role went beyond that of a painter. She planned exhibits of these portraits at senior centers across Whatcom County and fostered conversations about what it means to age well. These connected local folks in critical and vulnerable conversations that help knit communities more tightly together. One goal of this initiative is that our community will have a full and honest understanding of the entire range of the realities of aging. Thank you, Sarah, for being an active planner and participant in this project, and for your remarkable portraits that will bring warmth to the interviewees who participated.
Our next set of awardees will be presented in the following order. Honorees are Renee Swan-Waite and Cynthia Wilson, whose native name is Umagalis. Susan Taylor, Dina Autumn, Whatcom Dispute Resolution Center's Mediation Program.
It's a pleasure to be a part of this Community Building Awards ceremony. My name is Angie Harwood, she, her pronouns. The next awardees are Renee Swan-Waite and Cynthia Wilson, whose native name is Umagalis. Renee and Cynthia of the Lummi Nation deeply understand how to build community one relationship at a time. Their work creating cultural bridges proves this. Their joint work launched when Renee made a personal connection at Nerd Camp, a local reading conference she attended. That chance meeting was followed by an invitation to present at Western Washington University, where she and Cynthia met teachers from the Bellingham School District. They were, in turn, invited to present to Bellingham teachers and have now presented numerous workshops to both local and national audience of teachers and local churches. The warm generosity of spirit Cynthia and Renee possess shows up in how they share their culture. Whether engaging Culshan Middle School in ceremony honoring the Lummi tribal member who designed their logo, or bringing teachers to the canoe paddle for firsthand experiences, Renee and Cynthia offer opportunities for community members to gain greater understanding of one another. And the work transforms lives, changing the ways teachers think and teach, and shifting practices by school districts and churches who now include land acknowledgements in their buildings and meetings. Further, they are now receiving questions on how different groups can engage in reparation activities. For their invitation to come across the bridge and their dedication to expanding cultural understanding, we honor them with this Community Building Award. And now, I turn it over to Mason.
Susan Taylor, CRNA. Susan is a registered nurse and certified registered nurse anesthetist with nearly 30 years of medical experience. This is her day job. As COVID-19 vaccination became available in our community, the systematic bottleneck for quick access to vaccination clinics became clear to Susan. She met the emerging need with skills and knowledge she possessed and leveraged her professional network to create Solution, mobile vaccination clinics. And for the last year, this is how she has filled her evenings and weekends in a voluntary role. Susan used her own resources of knowledge, money, and time to become a certified vaccine provider within the state. She volunteered her professional skills and recruited others to do the same to open additional vaccination sites. The goal of the clinics was to take the vaccination to people where they are at in the community. Where they are at referred not only to geographic location, like more rural areas of Whatcom County, but also to where they are at in terms of making the choice to become vaccinated. In her efforts, she offered to come to businesses, churches, and other community spaces by request, making vaccination easily accessible. She reached out to leaders in diverse communities who held concerns and questions about vaccination and worked to make clinics available in community spaces where people could inquire and make decisions about vaccination for themselves. In total, Susan and the volunteers she rallied offered over 80 mobile clinics as a means of decreasing barriers for those who wish to become vaccinated. COVID-19 has put a spotlight on public health over the last 2 years. We would be remiss not to acknowledge the impact it has had on mental health. Breaking stigma about mental health is a critical issue in Whatcom County, as it is in the state and nation. I welcome Lisa to honor our next recipient who serves with the Whatcom chapter of NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness. Lisa?
Thank you, Mason. It has been my pleasure to partner many times with NAMI Whatcom to illuminate and advocate for support for those who live with mental health conditions and those who love and support those living with mental health concerns. In that work, I have met Dina Autumn. There are many different ways that people are called into community building. For Dina, it was the love and care of her son, who began experiencing mental health issues in middle school. She took him to family classes, a life-changing time, she noted, but he eventually aged out of a lot of the support systems in place at the time. Though the University of Washington has one of the best first episodes programs in the country, they had no presence in the North Sound region, so she had to drive him to Seattle to get help. Since then, Dina has worked to increase and improve mental health services for her son and others in our community. 2 years ago, she started the Whatcom Serious Mental Illness Coalition to advocate for the equal treatment of those struggling with mental health. In conjunction with NAMI Whatcom, she has worked to bring together police, sheriffs, EMTs, healthcare authority representatives, the health department, and the Grace Project to find resources and create mental health safety in Whatcom County. She has facilitated the Family to Family program with NAMI Whatcom and has been a resource for families who have children struggling with mental health. Through these efforts, she has created a network for families to have a safe and supportive group of people they can go to for help and self-care. This Community Building Award recognizes Dina for her time, efforts, and commitment to provide much-needed services to Whatcom County. Angie, over to you.
Thank you, Lisa. Whatcom Dispute Resolution Center's mediation program. Conflict is perhaps an inevitable element of the human experience, and in this time of unprecedented social and political polarization, our daily news includes many examples. Our next awardee, Whatcom Dispute Resolution Center's mediation program, provides a fantastic resource that enables community members to come together in a structured process designed to help resolve conflict. Whether working with families to create peace in the home through parenting plans, helping neighbors address disputes, supporting businesses or agencies, or most recently, helping landlords and tenants navigate eviction scenarios, WDRC's case managers and mediators serve the community with compassion, deep listening skills, and genuine care. Clients often comment that it's the first time they've told anyone their stories, or that it's the first time they've felt heard without being judged. Providing conflict coaching, helping clients set goals, opening hearts to others' perspectives, and empowering community members to connect across differences results in an astonishing 80% resolution rate for around 300 cases each year, one conversation at a time. For their work strengthening relationships through conflict resolution, this award goes to Gail LaCroix, Program Manager, and her staff of 5 case managers and the 30 volunteer mediators who work with them.
Across this event, we are introducing you to a variety of ways that community capacity building is happening here in Whatcom County. Much is afoot here, always. Did you know that WFCN brings community together to address youth substance use prevention and mental well-being promotion through Whatcom Prevention Coalition and the Mount Banker Community Coalition? And we support and collaborate with Ferndale Community Coalition and the Blaine Birch Bay Thrives effort. Coalitions meet monthly, plan and implement annual prevention strategy including education, outreach, resource dissemination, and funding and evidence-based programs. Coalitions work with Whatcom County Health Department and Washington State Department of Health to increase community health and decrease use of alcohol, tobacco, vape products, marijuana, opioids, and other substances that can impact healthy brain development during teen years. Our work encourages families with children and youth to eat at least one meal or snack together daily, during which you can connect and check in with each member of the family. We encourage what we call healthy risk-taking or opportunities to explore new activities or expand on hobbies. These could be activities like hiking, painting, horseback riding, singing, or paddleboarding. If your child already has a talent or hobby, offer opportunities to deepen their experiences, like overnight hiking or a more challenging route, with safety in mind, of course. Encourage them to enter competitions, perform in public. Healthy risk-taking is critical to adolescent brain development. We also encourage parents to help their children identify other safe, trusted adults they can connect with when, and for whatever reason, they can't come to you with concerns. A neighbor, aunt or uncle, teacher or parent of a friend can be a perfect connection. These types of activities are part of healthy youth development. To support youth substance use prevention locally, your tax-deductible donation in any amount can be made at www.wfcn.org/donate.
At this point in the event, we welcome you to take a mind and body break. Part of prevention is caring for ourselves and others and having the knowledge and the skills to regulate our stress responses. During this 5-minute mind and body break, we encourage you to take care of your needs in any way necessary: food, stretching, movement, breath. Our slides will walk you through a few ease keys that you can use throughout any day and offer tips on how to build resilience in community. Please enjoy some music by local artists Jeff Morgan and Richard Schultz. We wish to thank them for their generous use of their original creations and time performing, recording, and producing music for the pre-roll, break, and post-credits.
May the sun always shine on your journey. May the road be gentle and free. And like the clouds bring the rain to the valley, may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May the night always find you in its keeping. And may your days all grow from fertile seed. May your burdens be light enough to carry, and may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May you never feel that there's no one. May you always accomplish what you need. May you always remember where you're going. And may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. And may the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May the path lead you safely home to me.
Welcome back from our break. If you enjoyed learning about Ease Keys and want to know more, Lisa and I welcome you and others who may benefit to join us this January in our Power of Ease class. We'll meet 3 consecutive times beginning Friday, January 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. Register at www.wfcn.org/events.
At this point in the show, we focus on what might be considered our Lifetime of Achievement in Community Building Awards. In 2015, when long-term executive director of the network retired, the board honored his 25 years of service by creating the Jeff Morgan Legacy Award. The Legacy Award is presented to one or more individuals who have demonstrated long-standing service and sustained commitment to promoting community connection and change. Our 2021 Legacy Award recipients are Danita Washington, and Ann Deacon. With respect, I call on Christy and Angie to elevate the contributions of tonight's Legacy Award winners.
Thank you, Mason. With humility and great honor, I show respect for Legacy Award honoree Danita Washington. How you have walked amongst your people tells it all, explained Danita Washington in an Art of Aging interview. She shares wise words spoken to her by her grandparents. This Legacy Award honors her for how she has walked amongst her people to build community, to leverage resources for the benefit of children and families, and to uplift culture and the honorable Lummi Nation way of life. Danita Washington, whose native name is Celia, is a respected elder for the Lummi Nation, a family leader and a lifetime advocate for the health and well-being of families. In her life's work, she was a police officer, a youth outreach coordinator, a founding member of the Whatcom Human Rights Task Force, and a key member of Lummi's community mobilization against drugs, which resulted in the establishment of the Lummi Safe House, the Youth Treatment Center, and the Lummi Youth Academy. She was the co-producer of 2 locally produced stage productions by Children of the Setting Sun Productions. In an October 12 podcast of Young and Indigenous, Danita elevates the important role of parenting and messages that we can choose to give children. She says we have the power to remind our children all the time, you are worthy since the day you were born. Children and families are close to Danita's heart. She's mothered her siblings from a young age. As the eldest child in a large family of 9 full brothers and sisters and 2 half-siblings, she is a parent to her own grown children and an active part of her grandchildren's lives. Parenting is an important job, and safety is critical, not only physical safety, but spiritual safety. You want to protect the sensitive spirit of the child and consider what they may brush up against. The nature of her walk in community is about protection, caring, and understanding what children and families are brushing up against. She hopes for parents to have access to what they need to give their children the attention they need and to help keep families together. Danita is described as the heart and soul of what's good in our community, and she remains active in positive Indian parenting, supporting Lummi victims of crime, and serving as a board member of the Children of the Setting Sun Productions. Danita implores us to slow down, live with balance and moderation, and take the time to connect with one another, with children, our own, and those in our community. Experience one another, laugh, listen, walk. Provide opportunities to the children with good, loving support so they can find their way to the lives that they deserve. It is our honor to recognize Danita with the 2021 Legacy Award. Thank you, Danita.
The concept of legacy imprints wisdom in history so that others may build upon its foundations. It allows for good ideas to be scaled across and refined by new generations. Both of tonight's Legacy Award recipients leave deep impressions, foundations, and wisdom. Our second Legacy Award goes to Ann Deacon. Ann recently retired after a distinguished career with Whatcom County Health Department as Human Services Manager. One of Ann's first efforts, once she officially began working with the Health Department in 2008, was to coordinate the Behavioral Health Sales Tax Initiative. Her advocacy at the local, regional, and statewide level resulted in millions of dollars coming to the county over the years. Her ability to understand the landscape of complex systems and needs has ensured that resources are coordinated and maximized, making every dollar count. Prior, she managed the state prison system for offenders with mental illness. There, Ann observed that those incarcerated with mental health issues tended to stay in jail longer due to prolonged behavioral issues they were not adequately treated. Once at the health department, Ann instituted and led system change that allowed those with mental health issues charged with the crime to be diverted to a special mental health court. She worked with the Bellingham Municipal and Whatcom County court systems to ensure that both the prosecutor and the public defender were part of the program. Additionally, Ann managed the Ground Level Response and Coordinated Engagement, or GRACE program, which is a system to get those with needs directed to correct support and treatment organizations. The program was a massive success. Thanks to GRACE, there was a 95% reduction in jail stays by those with identified mental health issues. Using the National Health Prevention Intervention Treatment Aftercare, or PITA continuation system, Anne assembled a forum of community leaders and providers to ensure an interconnected continuum of care, including housing and associated on-site services, behavioral health, substance abuse care, all 7 school districts, and the local jail system. Anne created a fund and infrastructure program that provides services including case manager support to indigent veterans. She worked with the housing department to obtain housing vouchers for vets. Anne's efforts changed county code, and under her leadership, the health department won an award for Department of the Year. One of Anne's proudest and most recent accomplishments is the creation of the Crisis Stabilization Center. It meets specific medical and healthcare needs and assists in receiving mental health support without the high costs of medical centers. The Crisis Stabilization Center maintains a standalone 32-bed treatment unit that provides mental health stabilization and detox stabilization. Most importantly, the program creates a support plan, including a discharge plan, and avoids releasing those in need without additional support. Anne is a true pillar of the community and is recognized and honored by her peers and contemporaries. More importantly, the gratitude of countless community members in need that have been helped by her efforts cannot be truly quantified. It's our honor to recognize Anne with the Legacy Award. Thank you for your years of service. We wish you well into your retirement.
We are ever grateful to our legacy honorees who truly illuminate community capacity building. In that spirit, I offer a poem dedicated to all who leave legacy. It's written by an 8th grade poet, Lindsay Carnley. About this writing, Lindsay shared, "When I was a wee 8th grader, I was asked to write and read a poem at our promotion ceremony. I wanted to state that everything we do, every mistake we make, every speech we make, that's how our children will remember us, and that's how we become immortal, by building a legacy." Legacy by Lindsay Carnley. We all come from many places. We all see through different eyes. We go through many changes. We learn to laugh at our mistakes. We learn how to see from different perspectives. And as we age, this generation becomes the elders of the next. And as they grow, a realization strikes. The accomplishments weren't just for us, but for our children, to inspire them. And when they make their own accomplishments, we can see ourselves. We live on in the history books they read. Even if we can't last till tomorrow, a legacy can. Thank you, Lindsay. May we see ourselves as community builders, possibility weavers, legacy leavers, and writers of history that is just and hope-giving.
Whew. It is hard to follow such deep insight from an 8th grade poet. Her perspective shows the awareness and brilliance of listening to young people. It speaks to how they need us adults to show up and be trusted adults. In recent Trusted Adult workshops facilitated by youth in Whatcom County, teens tell us that showing up and listening matters. They need us to hear, believe, and accept their lived experiences. They prefer if we refrain from advice given unless they ask. They like to know what we went through as youth and how we navigated. But please don't assume that what worked in 1950 or 1990 will work for them in 2021. We can learn a lot from elevating youth's voices. To achieve this, Whatcom Family and Community Network works closely with school districts and educators to address youth's mental well-being. Mad Hope, Youth Suicide Prevention and Mental Well-Being Program, is one such opportunity and resource available locally. Mad Hope is a partnership between Bellingham School District, Whatcom County Health Department, and WFCN's Whatcom Prevention Coalition. WFCN staff manage and coordinate the peer-to-peer education program that visits middle and high school students in all 8 school districts in Whatcom County. Sessions promote mental well-being and help youth know what to do when they or their friends are feeling anxious, depressed, or considering suicide. Currently, Mad Hope seeks volunteers between the ages of 14 to 24 and adults with clinical and non-clinical experience. If you are interested in promoting mental well-being in youth, please contact us at madhope@wfcn.org. To support youth suicide prevention locally, your tax-deductible donation in any amount can be made at www.wfcn.org. www.skipatark.org/donate. Thank you for your generosity.
Our next set of awardees will be presented in the following order. Honorees are Generations Forward Family Council, Northwest Therapeutic Writing Center, Margaret Gibson, and Lummi Language and Schelangen Department.
As a parent and active community volunteer, I have the honor of sharing about Generations Forward Family Council. Generations Forward Family Council's vision is to create a community where every family can truly thrive. They feel that their goal will be reached when families of color are welcome and supported. Tribal sovereignty is respected and protected. Single parents and non-traditional families have the resources they need. All children have safe housing, appropriate childcare, healthcare, and accessible education. They have focused on presenting platforms and forums to connect community members and allow them to have their voices heard. The Family Council is comprised of champions. Each family champion does their own distinct work within the organization connected to their personal passions. Champions might create family support networks, facilitate family councils, lead anti-racist community calls, and offer community gatherings and resource sharing opportunities. Additionally, some family council champions also serve as a subject matter expert, act as a point of contact for working with government organizations, and or serve on the Child and Wellbeing Task Force. They also unite the community through Community Spotlight, short podcasts that interview a member of the community to share quick and useful information for Whatcom County parents of young children ages 0 to 7. Using a program called On Happy Hour, former family champion, now alumni member, Monica Koller, has gathered family council members to voice their opinions on issues such as childcare. These Unhappy Hour sessions are recorded and shared in an opportunity to reach people in an authentic way. It is our honor to recognize the Generations Forward Family Council with a 2021 Ken Gass Community Building Award. Now over to you, Angie.
Thank you, Viri. Northwest Therapeutic Writing Center is our next honoree. What do you get when you combine 2 passionate women, a team of 6 carefully trained and award-winning horses, and 20 volunteers per week in a stunning 5-acre Whatcom County farm setting? You get our next award winner, the Northwest Therapeutic Writing Center. This local nonprofit organization is directed by Julia Bazzo with assistance from Hillary Groh. Together, they provide adaptive recreation services for 31 clients each week, who learn a lot from the horses about physical movement, communication, and emotional regulation, all the while building confidence from being in control of a powerful animal. The writing staff focuses on what clients can do and builds from there, which they say often results in a shift of perspectives for all involved. Consider how different it feels for a girl who's typically in a wheelchair when others look up at her and she gazes down on them, a literal change that can result in a cascade of positive effects. Or contemplate the life-changing outcome for a young boy who started as a client 20 years ago and is now serving as a volunteer who teaches other volunteers how to do their jobs better. For this inspiring work that brings so many community members from different backgrounds together, I'm pleased to present a 2021 Community Building Award to the Northwest Therapeutic Writing Center. With that, I hand the reins over to Ray.
Thanks, Angie. This next awardee will literally light up your day in a matter of seconds. I am pleased to introduce Margaret Gibson. Skate parks can be places that many adults pass through without giving much thought to, much less engaging with the skaters and other youth who frequent them. But not our next awardee. Margaret Gibson not only engaged with the skate park crowd, but set out to gain their trust by fulfilling their physical and emotional needs through familiarity and relationship continuity. Early in the COVID pandemic, Blaine schools were meeting in person for half days. While walking her dog, Margaret noticed that a number of students went directly from school to the skate park to hang out. As she spoke with the kids, many of whom she knew from her 23 years as a K-12 school nurse in the Blaine district, they indicated that they were hungry since lunch was not served when school was a half day. And so, Margaret began a regular routine. A few times each week, she picks up food and drinks donated from the Blaine Food Bank and drives to the skate park with her Newfoundland dog, Willow, where she is greeted enthusiastically with hugs and curiosity about what treasures she has brought for the skaters that day. While she encourages them to eat, she inquires about who they are and what and how they are doing. Margaret listens to their stories with genuine care about their well-being, celebrating who they are and encouraging them. She creates a space for the youth at the skate park to know that there are trusted adults in the community, like her, that really listen and see them. Thank you, Margaret, for your concern and care for the youth of Blaine.
Thank you, Ray. It is a joy to now recognize Lummi Language and Schelangen Department. The department has, at the request of the Lummi Nation and the broader community, developed the Land Acknowledgement Resolution, which was passed by Tribal Council on June 15, 2021. This land acknowledgement is the basis of the one presented in tonight's program. Land acknowledgements are intended to be a powerful way to respect and honor Indigenous peoples and is one way to resist erasure of Indigenous peoples' histories. Honoring and inviting the truth while also supporting overall increased connection among community members. The Lummi language is called Lhaq'temish Foundation. As part of the colonization of the land inhabited by Native Americans, Native languages were forbidden to be spoken. The Lummi Language and Schelangen Department is essential to the Lummi Nation in its effort to reclaim and restore language and culture for the well-being of its people for generations to come. The department is at the center of development and implementation of Lhaq'temish Foundation resources that help teach and share the traditional language of the Lummi people and promote indigenized educational opportunities for the greater community. The language department has served over 300 K-12 students enrolled in Whatcom County to learn Lummi culture and language. Their leadership continues to expand reach and engagement within our region while strengthening relationships and uplifting pride and confidence in being the Lhaq'temish, the Lummi people.
We hope you're inspired by the stories and power you're hearing of community capacity building. We want to give you the opportunity to support work like this all across Whatcom County. Whatcom Family and Community Network is currently convening efforts with partners like the Opportunity Council to develop a stronger community resource access system and set action plans in place for improved child and youth mental health. Positive communication campaigns in East County lift up the healthy attitudes and behaviors already existing and communicate what the community wants to see more of in order to protect children. WFCN provides training on resilience, the science of hope, and how to prevent and mitigate impacts of adverse childhood experiences. Recently, we've also added self-regulation and co-regulation skills training and trusted adult workshops. To donate tonight, please open a new window on your computer and in your browser type www.wfcn.org/donate.
And now for our final set of awardees of the night. Recipients will be presented in the following order. Honorees are Ricardo Sanchez, Lhaq'temish Foundation, Lisa McOmber, Connected Young Influencers Will Hinkle, Kara Hilaire, Jasmine Carpenter, and Oliver Trulock.
We would like to present the next honor statement in the first language of the recipient, Ricardo Sánchez. Ricardo Sánchez es una persona tan honorable que siempre está disponible a ayudar. Él ha sido parte de nuestra comunidad latina en Whatcom County por muchos años. Sus hijos han atendido las escuelas de Bellingham y él sabe la gran necesidad que existe en nuestra comunidad de fortalecer las relaciones entre familias, la escuela y los vecindarios. Ha dedicado un número incontable de horas haciendo lo necesario para que los estudiantes y las familias se sientan que en verdad son parte de esta comunidad. Ricardo sabe y entiende que la presencia y la ayuda que él puede ofrecer en las escuelas y con las familias es fundamental para el desarrollo de este. En su opinión, el granito de arena que él aporta día a día impacta positivamente a los estudiantes y sus familias. Todo lo que él quiere es que las familias sepan que no están solos y siempre hay alguien aquí dispuesto para apoyarles. Que todo es posible y que lo único que se necesita es la voluntad para ayudar y hacer los sueños posibles y realidad. Ricardo sabe que lo esencial para alcanzar las metas de esta comunidad es alzar la voz y hablar por los que no pueden hacerlo. Por esto es que él trabaja incansablemente y participa en comités haciendo trabajo voluntario a lo que se necesite para apoyar a la comunidad latina. Él sabe y entiende la gran necesidad que las familias de habla hispana tienen y él quiere brindarles la seguridad de que aquí siempre hay alguien dispuesto para ayudarles. Estamos felices de darle un premio al desarrollo de la comunidad a Ricardo.
Our next Community Building Award recipient is Lhaq'temish Foundation. Lhaq'temish Foundation developed Lummi Resilience, an integrated community health strategy designed as a Lummi community-level response to COVID-19. They collaborated to provide the Lummi community with high-quality services, safe social connections, interagency referrals, and healthy engagement activities throughout the pandemic. Through the Lummi Resilience Collaborative, Lhaq'temish Foundation leveraged resources to increase community planning, increase access to services for children and families, and increase the overall connection among community members at the local level. Lummi Resilience is responding to the overall public health crisis in response to the coronavirus. In order to restore balance to the Lummi community, they are approaching health and well-being as a transformational process that addresses the whole person. Lummi Resilience has one priority goal: to increase protection for the health and quality of life for the Lummi people. This is being done by increasing the coordination of services at a centralized and consistent location and increasing the coordination of services between partner organizations and Lummi tribal services. The Lummi people are resilient and have worked since time immemorial to preserve, promote, and protect their Schelangen way of life. Elders and cultural experts teach the people to know their food, land, water, and medicinal plants. Learning who one's people are and where they come from is invaluable because it places cultural values and principles and their strengths and resiliency factors into context and passes knowledge down to the next generations. We are honored to recognize the Lhaq'temish Foundation for being at the center of wellness for the Lummi people.
One great thing about being a community builder is that you can be any age. You can have many types of skills. You can have roots in community since time immemorial or upon recent arrival. Our next honoree is a fairly new member of the Whatcom County community, Lisa McOmber. Having moved to eastern Whatcom County 3 years ago, when Lisa heard of opportunities to build community through connection and provide sustainable, healthy change, she was all in. The Foothills Community Alliance, formerly known as the Mount Baker Foundation Partnership, was seeking strong new leadership. She filled the shoes passionately and brought the group together with clear direction and renewed energy. Her involvement solidified the work, brought several community building champions to the table, and resulted in the FCA becoming ready to serve needs of local community. She has remained consistent, noticed assets and gaps in other community efforts, and stepped in to recruit, lead, and facilitate for everyone's good. She has been instrumental in laying foundation for positive community change for generations. Lisa also leaned in to help the local neighborhood safety and block watch type group reimagine themselves in an effort that could balance hope with very real concerns. The group centers its efforts by elevating community strengths and finding collaborative solutions. Lisa has brought together folks of diverse viewpoints to make progress on community goals aligned with social determinants of health, including increased safety, garbage removal, and beautification. During the past year and a half of pandemic, she, along with others, kept this work rolling forward, collaborating with many community organizations and neighbors. These were no small tasks during uncertain times. Lisa's kind hand at the tiller of community efforts has made all the difference. Thank you, Lisa.
Our final recipients of the evening are all young adults whose efforts across 2 years inspired and taught a nation, as well as our organization, about the importance of youth engagement in peer-focused mental well-being efforts. Connected youth influencers Will Henkel, Kiera Hilaire, Jasmine Carpenter, and Oliver Trulock. Each of these individuals has their own journey of pain and triumph that united them as champions for youth mental well-being. Kiera's passion focused on bullying and cyberbullying. Her work is used with the Lummi behavioral health programs, and she has presented a seminar on the issue. As high schoolers, Oliver and Will initiated the Peer-Centered Support, PCS, and Peer-Centered Outreach, PCO model, which in 2021 has been adopted across all Bellingham high schools and activated change in the school community. Jasmine, knowing the impact of losing a loved one to death by suicide, is one of the longest-standing volunteers with the Mad Hope Youth Suicide and Mental Wellbeing Program. Bringing their stories and strength, they united in the Connected Project, a nationwide effort hosted by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, the nation's premier mental health and substance use recovery association. The larger aim was to explore and learn how youth engagement can positively make change to address and destigmatize mental health. As the young influencers, they represented diverse efforts happening in Whatcom County and emerged new strategies to promote youth engagement and peer mental well-being. The team developed the local Trusted Adult campaign, which included a youth art contest, Trusted Adult e-card campaign, youth-led Trusted Adult workshops, social media outreach, and a bus ad campaign to promote the role of trusted adults in the lives of youth. The team strategized about the importance of creative outlets such as art, music, and poetry for youth to metabolize their pressure, stress, and big emotions. The concept of a zine was developed and brought to fruition by other youth recruited to engage in the broader effort. While COVID-19 thwarted big plans, concerts, gaming tournaments, etc., instead, Let's Chalk About It art efforts and outreach through the neighborhood little libraries emerged. As COVID forced an online format shift, the young influencers improved the Mad Hope youth suicide prevention curriculum. This focused on increasing inclusion of cultures for populations with higher health disparity regarding suicidal thinking and action. The overall experience was rare, but if expanded and sustained, the model to grow youth engagement, increase youth leadership, and save lives is boundless. Well done.
Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. As we bring the 2021 Ken Gass Community Building Awards to a close, I end with a healthy dose of gratitude. Thank you. I send appreciation to our sponsors. WFCN does little outside of partnership or collaboration. We thank our many community partners, coalition members, and donors. Together, we are better. And I want to send you off in our tradition of ending with a song that is good for your soul. Thank you again to Jeff Morgan and Richard Schultz. And remember, solutions are in the community. We all have something to contribute. And in the wisdom of 8th grade poet Lindsay Carnley, the accomplishments made weren't just for us, but for our children, to inspire them. Even if we can't last till tomorrow, a legacy can. Good night.
Margaret walks her dog every day to the skateboard park. Says hi to the kids, they pat Ellie, who never parts. Margaret sometimes brings sandwiches, kids do stunts, she cheers and she claps. She listens to their stories, her heart she never holds back. Well, Sarah's been deaf since birth, walks with mom and waves to her friends. Each person says, "Hi Sarah, how are you?" with just their hands. You see, the neighbors got together last year, said it's about time. Sarah can't hear us, it's up to us, well I'll have to learn sign. We're heroes of hope, what every heart needs. They do what it takes, they always believe. They stand beside you and go for broke. They never give up. The heroes of hope. Horses heal places inside, deeper than bones ever break. They listen, they're patient, they don't care if a kid's made a mistake. Time to open her stables to girls with souls on the run. Welcome their anger from believing they can't trust anyone. We're heroes of hope, what every heart needs. They do what it takes. They always believe. When they stand beside you and go for broke, they never give up. The heroes of hope. They're all around us, these helpers we often don't see. Simple acts of caring, it's people just like you and me. Holding on to each other when we feel we can't go on. A reminder together, each night finds its way to dawn. We're heroes of hope, what every heart needs. They just do what it takes. They always believe. They stand beside you and go for broke.